everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. Mahinder here from Endeavor Study Center again. So as you have seen in my previous video, we talked about all the question types and all the modules in PTE. And today in this video, I'm going to talk about two most important question types in PTE speaking, which are your describe image and your retell lecture. So let's take one by one, but before we start discussing describe image and retell lecture in details, let's quickly go through different question types in PTE module. So a PTE speaking module. So first one is read aloud. As you all know that in read aloud you get 35 seconds waiting time or preparation time, and you have 2 or 3 lines to read for computer, and they give you 40 seconds speaking time. So that's your first question type in that is read aloud in speaking. After read aloud, you will do repeat sentence. In repeat sentence, they'll give you one sentence as a prompt, and after after listening to the sentence back to back, you have to speak back about the about the sentence, whatever you hear or as much as you could hear. Then followed by repeat sentence will be describe image. We are going to discuss that in details in a minute. And then after the describe image, we have retell lecture. And after retell lecture, we have answer short questions. So let's take, in this video, I'm only going to discuss describe image in detail as well as retell lecture in the second part of this. So let's look at describe image. So as the name suggests, describe image. So in this question type, what happens? They have given you one image, and you look at the image. They give you 25 seconds preparation time, and after that you have to give 40 seconds response. So you should speak about the main points of the image in 40 seconds. Now guys, this question type, if you don't know what to speak, or if you don't know where to start and what to say in the end, you will be speaking something from yourself and making your sentences there and then that may lead to so many hesitations, as well as breaks in your fluency, unnatural breaks, and in many cases you will not be able to finish all the main points of the image for maximizing your score. So let's first look at how your describe image is scored. Now your describe image is scored for 3 scoring criteria. So first one is the content. So how computer grades your content? This is a question many people would like to ask. Sir, how does the computer grades your content part? So content is graded on the basis of the keywords. So when I talk about the content, I'm looking at the keywords only. So keyword. So that's your content. So there are 5 marks in the content. So that means content, they have clearly indicated in the scoring criteria. For content, they need mainly 3 things. First one is overview. So first one is overview. Second one is your 2 to 3 main points, and then conclusion or reference to the conclusions or implications. So these are the 3 things you're going to need to get maximum score in the content part. Obviously, content is the base thing. If you have the good content, you will be fluent, you will be confident enough to deliver a response with confidence. Speaking is all about confidence. So that's your content scoring, and then while you are speaking that content, they are also grading you for your oral fluency, and then pronunciation. You have 5 marks each for oral fluency and pronunciation. Now in the exam, you're going to get anything between 4 to 8 number of described images, but that number can change. You may be lucky if you get 3 sometimes, or sometimes even 8, lucky or unlucky, whichever way you want to put. So there are total 15 marks in one image, and then you get 6 to 7 of them in the exam. The total contribution coming from describe image towards your speaking score is approximately 22 to 25 out of 90. So 22 to 25 out of 90. But guys, if you prepare well for describe image, you can bag all those 25 points, right? So in terms of oral fluency, now I'm going to talk about the role of templates here. So what is oral fluency? Oral fluency means your response is fluent, number one, and you're not doing too many repetitions. You do not have long pauses in between when you are speaking. So in simple words, oral fluency can be addressed with the help of a template. So if you have a good template which addresses all the scoring criteria, you can give a fluent response. No matter what template you use, no template is good or no template is bad. But what I would like to say here is that as most of the people who are doing PTE, you are doing it either for the purpose of your visas or for getting your permanent residencies and things like that. And remember guys, there are no shortcuts to this. So if you have a template which you think that gives a meaningful response, this is something you should use, not like any random template which you are not comfortable delivering, as you yourself believe that it does not make any sense whatever I speak. Although there is a lot of hue and cry out there in terms of what template should you use, but the template what we have at Endeavor Study Center addresses all the scoring criteria, and you have the right vocabulary to mean something which makes sense in the context of the image. So if you guys want to look at our template, you can watch some of my previous videos, or you can also log into our portal and use it as a guest login. And if you look at the model answers for each image, you can find out there the template sentences you can find from there. So you just have to go at endeavorstudy.com.au, and from there you can make a guest login. And when you log in into our portal, if you go to speaking module in the describe image, first you will do the practice with the image, and then you can also have a look at the model answer which contains the template. And if you subsequently look at all those images, you can note that we are using the same template to address most of the images. So we actually have 3 different kinds of templates depending on what image you're looking at. So that's where the role of template is. Very, very important. You have a definite line to speak. You have a definite beginning, you have 2 middle sentences, you have a definite end. So every time you're not creating the sentences by looking at the image every time, but you have the prefix sentences and you're just filling in the information from the image to make it work, to have a meaningful response. So we have already discussed in describe image the content scoring, that you need to have the main points of the image, not necessarily highs, lows and trends and things like that. That information is not relevant, as we know that in describe image you're getting scored on the basis of the content. Content is graded on the basis of the keywords, provided those keywords are provided in the form of meaningful sentences. Be fluent, don't correct yourself even if you make mistakes. For example, instead of 5,000 you have said 2,500, it's okay. Don't worry too much, don't correct yourself and keep moving. Finish before the 40 seconds time. What we have noticed, most of the students who finish describe image anything between 30 to 40 seconds, close to 35, 34, 36 seconds, these are the best responses in describe image. Alright, so hope this describe image bit of discussion helps you. If you do have any issues, don't hesitate to contact us on the given number 0455 903 521, and we'll try to help you as much as we can from our side. Now next one is a Retell lecture. Now I have to say something about Retell lecture here. As you know that in last few months we have had so many students who were not getting their scores in listening module, right? And then when the person has done the exam before, how do we if a person has done the exam multiple times and that student turns up to Endeavor Study Center for help, what we generally do, we run those students through the mock test first to identify what sort of errors they are making. Now, one of the most common finding in a Retell lecture that I got from those students was that they were just focusing on the keywords and key phrases in the Retell lecture. So we were just at Retell lecture, so we are going to look at Retell lecture now. So I have to say something here that we get so many students coming from different parts of the world. Sir, I have done exam multiple times and I don't get my score in listening, although I get score in speaking, but I don't get score for listening, specifically for the people who are looking for 79 plus score. Now, with the students who come to us after repeated attempts having to fail to get to their desired results, we straight away start with the mock test. So where we identify the errors or the problems the students are having in their mock test and how actually they are handling each question type under exam conditions. So my common finding was that most of those students, they were struggling in Retell lecture as they were following strategies just based on speaking the keywords from the prompt. Now this is something we really need to look at when it comes down to Retell lecture. So what I did with those students, most of them, where we helped them to achieve 79 plus in some cases, and some of them eventually got even 90, that they were just focusing on the keywords there. And this is a common problem in Retell lecture, that for a student it sounds so easy to just pick keywords and then make up your sentence from those keywords. But what is going to happen in that case, that you're not going to get maximum content marks towards your listening module. And this is where you might, because in speaking from Retell lecture you get 3 scoring criteria. You have the content, you have the oral fluency, you have pronunciation. For when we talk about the contribution of marks towards your speaking module, the content is only 1/3, because you have total 5, 5, 5 in 3 criteria. But when we talk about your contribution towards your listening module, most of the content from the content of the Retell lecture will be added into your listening module. So you have to really strengthen the content if you want to pass listening, or if you want to have maximum contribution towards your listening. So as I was talking before, so what we did with those students, we actually worked with their note making, and they improved their note making so that they are able to make notes of the full sentences, meaningful full sentences. And with the help of template, if you speak back those sentences, your response is going to be fluent, your response is going to be meaningful, and you will be confident in delivering that response. And that's what brings you the score in speaking as well as in listening. So let's discuss some of the main points in Retell lecture. So again, we have discussed about the scoring: 5 marks in the content, 5 marks in oral fluency, 5 marks are there in pronunciation. So first thing is going to be scoring. How much is the value of your Retell lecture towards your speaking as well as listening. So approximately 8 to 10 points in speaking, 8 to 10 points in listening module, they rely on your Retell lecture. But these are critical points, especially for the people who are looking for 79 plus or 65 plus score. The Retell lecture becomes really, really important. So now what are the challenges in Retell lecture? So the first challenge is sentence formation. So the people who are just relying on taking random notes of the keywords here and there, you're going to really struggle with the sentence formation as you speak. And when there is a break in your fluency, you're going to lose points. So for that reason, you have to really train hard to be able to make notes of the sentences, if not the long sentences, at least the small sentences which have some meaning in it. Right. Second one is the difficulties in comprehension. So some students don't understand the lecture at all. Yes, we do understand that some of the lectures are really difficult, but guys, you're not going to need 100% comprehension. Even if your comprehension of listening comprehension is 50 or 60 or 70%, you can be choosy that which sentences to pick, the sentences which you understand, right? Next one is note making. So note making is a make or break the game in Retell lecture. If you do not have a definite strategy to make notes, obviously you're going to struggle to take notes, and then eventually your response will not be meaningful when you speak it back. And this is a problem. The problem is not the content, the problem is the strategy. So if you fall into the traps of, you might have heard of somewhere on free resources that, oh yes, if you just get the keywords notes, you get your score, but not true for all the people, not true for all the students. So be mindful. If you want to have that 79 plus score, you have to have a clear and meaningful response in your Retell lecture. So to sum up, so we have discussed describe image, we have discussed Retell lecture, some parts of it. If you guys feel, if you have any issues with any specific question type, please feel free to comment in this box, and I'll try to make a video on that, highlighting that specific issue of yours, whatever I get those responses from the comment section of this video. And if you're really struggling with your PTE preparation, there's no harm in getting in touch with us and probably attend a demo session. Not all the PT classes are same. This is how I would put it. So feel free to contact us on 0455 903 521. You can also WhatsApp, send us a WhatsApp message on the same number if you are located in any other part other than Australia. So you just need to remove that 0 and add +61, and you please leave your name and please your brief query, and one of our team members will get in touch with you. I hope you like this video. Keep sharing and supporting us, and I'll get back to you guys again with the next video. Thank you.